Welcome to PANC Live. My name is Frank Pittman, and I'm the Executive Director of the Piano Academy in North Carolina and your host for PANC Live. PANC Live is being broadcast from the teaching studios at the Piano Academy in North Carolina in Durham. This is our 5th episode of PANC Live. I'm really excited. There may be some technical issues along the way. It seems like there already was one. Last night during our dress rehearsal, all of a sudden a glitch happened. But if something like that happens, just stay tuned, stay on your show, stay on your screen, and we will resume broadcasting again very shortly. Feel free to ask questions or make comments during the show. Just type your thoughts in the comment sections below, or if you're on YouTube, I guess it would be that way, maybe, okay? That we'll try to address as many as we can. We have a very, very special treat for today's show. We are celebrating the 54th birthday of the Durham Music Teachers Association. And I would like to introduce our guests. These are all members of DMTA and part of the leadership. So you'll see right next to me, let's see, which direction is that? Is that this way? Right, okay. Is Matt, I feel like Brady Bunch, right? And then down here, let's see, is Tanya Kirk, membership chair. In the center, oh my gosh, this is fun. In the center is Leandra Williams, scholarship chair. And way over there, waving at us, is Jan Perry, performance festival chair. So welcome, guys. Say hello.
Good morning.
Well,
Good morning.
It is so fun to be here with such good friends and great teachers. So again, this is the 54th birthday. We were founded January 24th, 1967. That means our birthday will be tomorrow. We will be 54 years old. And I'd like to introduce our de facto historian, Jan Perry, who said that she would talk a little bit about our history. And she asked me if I would speak a little bit about one of the founding members, who was Lauren Withers. Lauren was a piano professor at Duke University for a long time. And when I was in high school, I think it was, I would come to Duke University and take piano lessons with Lauren. And what a wonderful leader and just inspirational musician. So I want to turn it over to Jan a little bit. Good morning, Jan.
Good morning. I was not there in 1967 when it started, even though I was born back then, but I was not actually present with that. But there are still a few of the founding members are still members of the chapter. So that's really cool that they're still involved. They're retired, but they still like to come to meetings and they're involved. Those would have been Susan Kasempa, and there was an Isabel Samfield, Dorothy Kitchen. So they're all still around and still active in music, which is really cool. From what I understand, that they were a group of teachers that already were meeting together just to just get together and talk. And they decided they wanted to form an official chapter. And that's when they got involved with Lauren, who was actually a member of NCMTA and MTNA. And we'll hear a little bit more about that shortly.
Jan,
yes.
Could you tell us a little what those initials are in case there are people who
don't
know?
So obviously DMTA is Durham Music Teachers, NMTA is North Carolina Music Teachers Association, and MTNA is the National Music Teachers National Association.
Right.
And but I thought this was really cool when I was reading this. The very first program, now this was in 1967, the first program was Meeting the Common Problems of Piano Teachers. I think that could be the exact same program now, 54 years later, because it seems like we do have meetings. And it seems like when we get together, though, it's just a time of sharing with colleagues and asking questions. And independent piano teachers can be kind of a lonely profession because we're independent. We're there by ourselves with our kids. But to be able to get together with our colleagues that totally understand what we're going through and just to just to have time of fellowship with each other. So that's what they did. That was the first program. It was actually led by the president of NCMTA at that time, which I don't know his name, Clemens Sandreski. You know, like I said, I don't think any of us remember. So, but that was the president of NCMTA. And so the goals at that time, and still are goals, is that to meet specific needs of teachers, to stimulate interest in good music, to aid student achievement, to provide educational and inspirational programs, and to dignify our profession in the community. And then, as you will hear more about it through this morning, in addition to meeting these goals, we've added so many programs for the kids. And I think that's what makes our chapter so unique. I think it's why it's survived for 54 years, that we are a chapter that has, for that very little bitty beginner that plays with two fingers, all the way up to that college kid that wants to go on and be a music major. And so, and you will hear throughout this morning all the different events we have to try to meet the needs of all of our teachers, the type of students we all have. We all don't have little Mozarts. We might wish we did, but we don't. So I just love the chapter.
Jan, every one of our students are little Mozarts.
All mine are Mozarts.
All of mine. No. I mean, yeah, just in our hearts. I mean,
I know what you're saying.
They deserve. Everyone deserves as much attention as the real little Mozarts. So I know
they may not become as famous as Mozart, but that's true. They had to start, because Mozart started as a little 4-year-old. So they all started like that's a good point. I like that. So that's the beginning of our chapter, and I personally joined in 1989. I'd been a member in another state of another affiliation of MTNA, and I knew how important this chapter was to me. So when I moved back to Durham, that was one of the first things I sought out. I moved back to Durham in March and joined the group in September. And most of the time, I've never regretted it. Maybe when I'm on the board all the time. Maybe when I'm on the board. But no, it's all been good. It's all been good. And so I think that's kind of the brief history and what's going on with us, and we're going to hear why we still exist. I still think to make it in this day and time, 54 years, and stay active is just we all should applaud ourselves for what we've done. So Frank, if you'll introduce our next speaker.
Excellent. Well, Jan, thank you. The one thing that I'm thankful for you to read is the goals that were set back 54 years ago, that we are still striving to maintain. I didn't even know they were spelled out like that, but we're still trying to those visions. We're still trying to do. Well, thank you, Jan. Next is our membership chair. I'd like to introduce to you Tanya Kirk. Hi, good morning, Tanya.
Good morning. Good morning. Thank you for having us all here today. This has been so much fun already. I'm going to kind of just add on from where Jan left off. And so Durham Music Teachers Association, for me, I actually don't know what year I joined. I know I've been a member for quite a few years now. However, I did not join Durham Music Teachers Association when I moved to North Carolina in 2000. My studio was in Raleigh, and so I became very active in that affiliate of North Carolina Music Teachers Association, and I'm still a member there as well to this day. However, I wasn't a member of Durham yet, and so I would come over and judge for the piano festivals here. And I was so drawn to this group and just how special the event was that there was some point, and Jan can probably elaborate a little bit more on this, but where I just could not stay away anymore. I had to become a member. And so I did. And I'm so thankful, because it's just such a, I don't know how to even put it into words well, but I see that we all value not just music, but each individual discipline of music, because we are piano teachers, we're vocal teachers, we're composition teachers, guitar, theory, strings. We have a little bit of everything, and we don't work in separate units that are in one organization. We all work together. And I think that's what makes us so special, is because we really connect with each other and value and learn from other areas that we don't teach, but we can learn from those areas. So I think that's what's been such a great thing for me. Now, to kind of add on to Durham Music Teachers, we are an affiliate of the state, which is North Carolina Music Teachers Association, and it was founded in 1959. A group of 25 music teachers got together in Greensboro at the University of North Carolina at Greensboro, and they decided they needed to get a group together. And so they did. And a few years later, I believe around 1960, they decided to change the name. It originally was, let me think, it's a long one, North Carolina Music Educators. And so then they changed it to Music Teachers Association in around 1960. And in CMTA, what's so beautiful is just how each organization really builds upon each other, and it connects so well. So just like DMTA has student events and events for teachers, NCMTA also has student events, but it brings students from the entire state together. So you have your little area of Durham, and then we get the whole state. So we have performance festivals for students of the state. We also have state conferences where all of the local affiliates get together and learn from each other so very much. District workshops for teachers. And so those things are what the state provides. And then when you go up the umbrella to the larger part, we have music teachers, MTNA, Music Teachers National Association. And get this, it was founded in 1876. 1876.
Jan, you
in
weren't here at
Cincinnati,
that point,
Ohio.
were you?
No, it wasn't. The next year. The next year.
You joined the turn of the century. So 1876 in Cincinnati, Ohio. The headquarters continues to be in Cincinnati, Ohio, and MTNA has about 22,000 members right now, with 500 local affiliates, and then it's in 50 states. So what MTNA provides is then bringing the states together with its national conference, which it has done a beautiful job since the pandemic, hosting the virtual national conference this past March, and then it will again this upcoming March, and nearly weekly events for teachers of all disciplines that we can, learn more pedagogy, virtual performance festivals, many other things. And the one part of MTNA that's near and dear to my heart is the foundation. So the MTNA Foundation Fund is an endowed fund that also relies on donations from the nation, and it funds teacher enrichment grants and the student festivals and competitions. And for me as a teacher, back when I first moved to North Carolina, I was trying to find my place. Marilyn Brown encouraged me to apply for a teacher enrichment grant, and I did, and received it, and had the great honor of meeting and interviewing Dave Brubeck. And so that changed my entire perspective and career. So what a great thing. So wow. MTNA funds teacher enrichment grants. So that's kind of all the three levels of membership. And I say that because for those who choose to join, it's important to join all three. So when you do go to the website and click on membership, there's a link that takes you to the national website, because when one joins, you join at the national level and the state level, and you choose your local affiliate. So there's importance in being a member of all three, and not just obviously one. And so that's how membership works in a nutshell. Durham Music Teachers, we have 65 members, and we've been pretty constant at that membership level for several years now. And what a great thing that we've not lost any members. And those who have moved, there have been others who have moved in and have claimed those spots, which has been a beautiful thing.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
the one of the things that you can also do is if many of us are teaching virtually now online, I have students from across the state border. I have a student in Texas and I have one in New York, and I actually belong to both of those state organizations. So
Yes.
you're,
Wow.
I can
Yes.
the being a member of the national gives us benefits. I mean, the state dues are not all that expensive, really. I mean, it's
No.
quite affordable, and you can join. Most of my students are here in North Carolina, but in order for the students who are in other states to participate in their state's festivals and theory tests and whatever activities they have, you can also belong to that state very easily. You just go to the MTNA, that's Music Teachers National Association, mtna.org, sign up as a member, and then you can add states, just that you have your own sort of profile portal, and you can add in other states if you like. And you can also belong to more than one local. So, Tanya, I think you said that in addition to being a member of Durham Music Teachers Association, you're also a member of the Raleigh organization as well. Is
That's
that right?
correct. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. So
Yes.
you can be a part of the community of teachers in more than just the area that you live in and teach in, especially if you have students that are localized in those. I mean, many of us do teach, even when we were teaching in person. I had students from Raleigh and I had students from Cary, and there's a Cary music teachers organization as well. Cary Apex, I believe, right?
Yes.
Yeah, so you can belong to multiple groups. You have to pay dues, of course, but that gives you a wide variety of resources to be able to help yourself professionally and to help your students. So thank you for giving us the opportunity to branch out a little bit. All right, I'd like to introduce everyone to our esteemed president, Joseph R. Biden. No, sorry, Matt Sampson, Sir Matt the Great, as he is known. I'd like to welcome Matt, and he's going to share a few pieces of information with us about the organization. So, good morning, Matt.
My fellow music teachers. No, I am not going to speak as eloquently on the history and structure of the DMTA and North Carolina music teachers, just simply because I'm not going to do it as well as Jan and Tanya. But yeah, I can just talk a little bit about myself. So I've been teaching piano since, I think it's 2014 now. So yeah, I'm going on my 7th year this summer, which is a little strange to look back on. But my relationship with DMTA, I graduated from Chapel Hill, moved to Durham, and then when I started teaching, I don't know how I first came across it, but I remember joining maybe 2 years into my teaching. But those first couple of years can be a little strange if you're new to teaching music, because you're learning what you're doing first of all, and so that, like Jan was saying a second ago, it can be kind of a lonely profession, because there are these little moments, those little moments of where you can catch your breath for the 1 minute as you're switching between lessons, and just very specific things that happen when you're a teacher. And what was really great was after I was sitting and just kind of getting the emails and vaguely knowing about DMTA before I dove really full in a couple years into my membership. But then once I got to that's one of my biggest things I've gotten from this is being able to network with other teachers, and they'll kind of hold my hand through the good parts and the bad parts and everything, and we can just kind of, I think that therapy part of it is not to be understated in a big way, which is nice. As much as we love our jobs, there are just so many things that you can always be doing better, and questions you'll have to ask and things like that. So it's nice to have people who have been in the organization. It's strange for me to think that there are newer people than me now, but I think that's the case now. There are newer people than me, and then there are folks who, not to name names, have been in it for quite a long time. So, but yeah, that's a little bit about my background. I'm teaching remotely now with all my students, and I've got a few folks watching right now. Hi, everyone. But yeah, a couple other good things. I guess one of my biggest roles in DMTA is that I help run the student recitals that we do. So it's just one of a series of programs that we have throughout the year. And pre-COVID times, we would host these in different venues. Like I think mainly we go to I'm blanking. It's the retirement community up there, Crowsdale in Durham, and we would host it up there and have these in-person events, which is really nice because some teachers have private recitals for their studios and some don't have any at all. So it's just a nice like free opportunity for folks to come and practice playing in that more formal setting if students aren't used to that. In fact, that's like on the grassroots level, like one of the best things I've gotten from DMTA is all of these different opportunities that my students have to perform in different settings. Because what I like to do I teach piano, what I like to do with my piano students is have them have the recitals where you dress up, you do your bows, there are the programs, you perform your pieces, there's the applause and everything like that. And that's an important opportunity, I think, for a musician, especially, K through 12, like just learning how to manage stage fright, learning how to be in front of a crowd, like those kind of, they don't seem like they're strictly music related, but they're just great like skills as you're growing as a person. So it's good that they have that opportunity. But then I also like doing the playathons, and I don't know if Jan wanted to talk about the playathons or not, but it's another recital opportunity that we have where it's a little, in my case, less formal, where we have a piano and again, pre-COVID times, we'll put it in like a nice public space and like we've done it in Brightleaf Square before, and folks will walk by. And it's like one of those informal type settings, and I don't have my kids dress up for that one. And it's just kind of a more who wants to play now, and you get up. It's one of those like kind of old-fashioned salon type things from the 1850s. I think it's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun for the kids. But then
Matt,
what's really great about go.
I'm sorry, I thought you were concluding that point. Could you share with anyone who's watching, if there's any teachers, what steps do we have to take in order to sign our students up for these recitals?
These will be announced through. We have all of our teachers who are part of DMTA are in communication with us, so we can announce it through Facebook and through email blasts and things like that. But as these events get decided upon and dates get set, we like to try to send those out as early as we can. So for example, just for folks watching right now, these student recitals that we're having, since we're doing them all virtually for the time being, we're going to be doing those once a month as people are interested. And so far people seem to be interested, which is great. So we had one, I think, in November or December. And when teachers see that, I like to, since I'm organizing them, I like to give them the registration date, RSVP by this time, and then we'll make the program, and then the performance date is this date, and we'll do that for the recitals. I believe our playathon, I don't have the date with me, but I believe our playathon is late April this year. It'll be like April 20 something. I don't know if someone wants to jump in with the date.
April 17th.
Thank you. April 17th is going to be the one that we're going to look at this April. So, so we got those recitals, we got the playathons, and then the one thing I was going to actually, I don't know if I'm going out of order here, but I was going to kick this over to Leandra next, because one of the nice things that we do with the playathons is that it is one of our largest fundraisers for our scholarship fund. So for the students who want to participate in the playathons, we ask for a suggested $5 donation. And what's great is like that really adds up as teachers and students sign up more and more students. And then it's a great opportunity for folks who need it. And Leandra can talk more about that.
Well, thanks, Matt. I do appreciate you giving us a little insight on the recitals and the performance opportunities that the organization provides for student participants. One thing I would like to add is that we also host an adult recital. Yeah, so when we were talking last night during our dress rehearsal, I don't think any of us remembered that one very important detail. So we also, this is a very low stress recital where adult students are welcome to come in and play and perform. And I absolutely love the adult recitals. Yeah, I just wanted to sort of add that in. Well, thank you, Tanya and Matt, who have already shared your experiences and your responsibilities for DMTA. We're going to take a little break right now. We'll be back very soon. This gives us an opportunity for us to refresh our coffee mugs, and but it'll be a few moments. We'll be right back, and when we return, I'll turn the floor over to Jan Perry. So we'll be right back very shortly. Take care, everyone. Well, welcome back. I see everyone has returned. I hope you refreshed your coffee, and we're ready to go on to the second part of the show. So I would like to now, we've already heard from Jan Perry. I'd like to turn over the conversation to Jan, where she will talk about one of our largest and significant activities that we have in the Durham Music Teachers Association. She'll be talking about our performance festival, which we have every May. So turning it over to you, Jan.
Thank you, Frank. Before I go into that, I'd like to mention that our next student recital, if I'm correct, Matt, is the 30th, a week from tomorrow. Is that correct? No, a week from today. So it's a Saturday afternoon, today, a week from today. Yeah. So can people go on and watch that? Would they just log on to is that possible? Not sure. Never mind.
We can, okay. Let's put a pin in that for a second.
That's right. Okay. Well, we'll see. But our next one is this coming a week from today. So the Performance Festival is our largest event. It was started in 1970. So as I looked up all these dates, I thought it was so neat that once we formed our chapter, these teachers got off and running and just wanted to go ahead and immediately start these different programs, events for the kids, which is pretty cool, pretty awesome. And so Dorothy Kitchen, who was a string teacher, she was the one that initially wanted to start this performance festival chair, but she included it with piano students as well. It is also for voice. It's for guitar. It's for composition. We have duos, duets. We just a little bit of everything. And even the voice is musical theater, classical voice. And we are up to about 270 students participate. About 30 of our teachers participate. And it's usually held in May. Last year, because of COVID, we were able to have it virtually, which was pretty cool. And that's why we'll do it again this year. And the kids, I think they really liked it because they could just make their videos and send them in. But they still would get comments from an adjudicator. They could still earn a rating on their certificate, and they would qualify to potentially play in the recital. We have an honors recital the day following. This takes place all day on a Saturday when we met in person, and then the following day, the winners or the recitalists would play in a recital on that Sunday afternoon. Duke's been very gracious to host us and let us use their facilities in late May. We've had it at North Carolina Central also. but usually it's over at Duke. And each year we try to add some things to it. And a couple of years ago, we did add an adult category, and so that they also could play and have comments. It starts with age about 5, and we divide it into different categories, not based on level, but based on age. Students can choose, the teachers, they choose whatever pieces they want, up to 3 pieces. And it's just been one of our biggest events. I think the cool thing about virtual, we had some teachers, like Frank was mentioning, that he's got kids in other states. We've had students in other states that were able to join our festival last year because it was virtual. And so